in just a moment.
ABC's Wide World of Sports continues live from Memphis. Now your host, Frank Gifford.
Frank Gifford once again from the Mid-South Arena in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll be coming back here a little later on for the floor exercise. All the beauty and grace. The U.S. doing very well in the competition against East Germany today. Well, it was 29 years ago that ABC's Wide World of Sports began. A 20-week replacement from Memphis, the first ever dual meet between the United States and East Germany in women's gymnastics. And we'll have the final rotation, the floor exercise, coming up in a moment. But first, this message and then a word from our ABC station. Stay with us.
What's that? Sports continues live from Memphis. Now your host, Frank Gifford.
The Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. The United States versus East Germany in women's gymnastics. The first ever dual competition. The United States showing very well. A lot of promise for the future as youngsters are performing well here this evening. The team standings after the third rotation. The United States with a very significant lead, 144.675. East Germany 139.775. And it has been the Wendy Bruce afternoon, the veteran U.S. gymnast, showing very well as Wendy Bruce took the beam and she took the uneven bars. And she is coming up right now, floor exercise, and she is truly back, I would say, Kathy. And she struggled a little bit after the World Championships.
But she has put her game face on here. This is probably the most exciting event to watch Wendy in. She's dynamic. In fact, she's starting out with a brand new mount. It's going to be a double layout. Right now, she's waiting for the judges to give her the signal to go ahead.
Representing the United States of America, Wendy Bruce.
And there it is. This first tumbling run is very risky. As we said, it's brand new for her. But if anybody has the power to do it, she does. Very nice. Pulled it right around. That's tough to do. 2 rotations in a straight body position.
Obviously feeling confidence from her previous performance in the first 3 rotations.
This is an event where you can really let go and let your personality shine.
Yeah.
So easily performed. Ever since watching Bogunskaya at the World Championships, a great Soviet gymnast, brand new trends are starting in the floor exercise, and Wendy's following suit here. A little more daring. Gymnastics series there, her dance movements in the series. Big breath before this last tumbling run. Here's where the endurance really counts. To really pull this double back. What a great competition for Wendy Bruce.
Oh, she's feeling it, isn't she?
There, of course, is Kevin Brown, her coach, who's also the coach of Brandy Johnson. Boy, she really nailed that dismount.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yesterday in the qualifying round, she only used a double twisting layout backflip, but today she had to do the tuck double back. The high level of difficulty, good form, and boy, can't do it much better than that.
I mentioned she's all the way back. She injured her shoulder right after the World Championships a year ago, and she has come back from that. And she awaits her score now. She needs better than a 9.45 to move in front of Elizabeth Crandall in first place in the all-around. And we'll be back with the score and, of course, more floor exercise here in Memphis, Tennessee. Competition for Wendy Bruce. We told you she needed a 9.45 to move in front. She has a 9.80 in the floor exercise, and she has clinched the all-around competition here this afternoon. As we mentioned, today's competition marks the first time the U.S. has met East Germany in a dual women's gymnastics meet. And with the unification of East and West Germany seemingly inevitable, it may very well be the last time they'll meet. The recent democratic reforms have left the once powerful East German sports machine in a total state of uncertainty. And for more on this story, let's join Donna De Verona. Donna?
Historically, the East Germans have used sports as a vehicle to legitimize a political system forced to wall its people in. Their athletic success has been remarkable. In the Olympic Games since 1968, East Germany has won more medals than every country except the United States and the Soviet Union, nations 15 times as large. With the fall of the Berlin Wall, the role of the elite athlete in East German society has come under question, and they're caught in the middle. They now compete for a country that soon may cease to exist, and the sports officials, desperate for hard currency to keep the system going, are willing to sell their secrets of success. The hope is that money will come from the Western concept of marketing. Sponsors' names have begun appearing on jerseys, and recently, secret training facilities have been opened, like this underground bunker in Kienbaum. Altitudes of up to 5,000 feet can be simulated in this low-pressure chamber. East German athletes have used this facility before every Olympics since 1972. But income earned by allowing the world's top teams to use this facility still may not be enough to keep East Germany's top athletes home.
All the problems arising now depend on the main question mark, money. We cannot stop a handball player, a girl in the national team, when she goes to West Germany and receives $2,000 a month and a brand new car immediately. So how shall you stop that girl? She can cross over the border like from Nevada to Texas.
East Germany's most valuable athletic resource, the sports school system, is also in jeopardy. Here, hand-picked future stars are measured, tested, and analyzed. And with German unification on the horizon, future success may depend on keeping this system intact. The possibility that it may be destroyed has left athletes confused.
Also man könnte vielleicht noch dazu sagen,
there's uncertainty here, not only among top athletes, but among children, because no one knows what will happen in the future. Certain sports schools have had to dissolve themselves because of lack of support. There are very good aspects of GDR sports that the government must encourage and must be preserved.
Recent elections have mandated that the government seek unification as quickly as possible. Once the process is complete, the International Olympic Committee and World Sports Federations will be presented with one German sports team.
As soon as we are one country, we will bring one team to the Olympics and one team to the World Championships. Some have said that we need time to prepare a single team, but I don't consider it necessary to know a year in advance how you make up your team.
Things will certainly never be the same in East German sports, and for that, the country as a whole should benefit. Even now, the young student athletes in the sports schools are freer to pick the careers of their choice. A relief for prodigies like 16-year-old Martin Bertzlaff, the national junior high jump champion.
A year ago, I was told that because I was a sportsman, my only option in the field of medicine was to be a physical therapist. Now, I've told them, I'm going to be a veterinarian.
Judges conference at the moment. Kim Kelly of the United States will be coming up very shortly. But as we come out of the piece on East Germany, I think what we have seen this afternoon might indicate that this is a team, a troubled team, perhaps, with the coaches, with all the federation, kind of wondering what's going to happen to us. We know we're going to into a unification period, and what can you see down the line for them?
Frank, I spoke to Klaus Heller, the security general of the East German Gymnastics Federation. He said over the next year, they're going to cut back from 300 paid coaches on their national staff to less than 100. And so he's expecting that a lot of coaches will be leaving East Germany, going to other countries, hoping to sell their services and their knowledge to other countries that are willing to pay.
Of course, the European Championships are coming up next week. As a matter of fact, it'll be interesting to see how the East Germans stand up, of course, to the other European teams. Again, we will remind you there is a conference going on the floor at the moment.
You know, Frank, you can see that they are just, they look tremendously distracted. Even with, it's not that their bodies aren't in shape. They're lacking some strength and skill movements, but there's just a real distraction. I've never seen them as down as they are in this competition.
Well, Kathy, both you and Bart have traveled extensively throughout Europe, but what would a unified German team be? Would it be a much better team
Well, specifically in the sport of gymnastics, talking to Klaus Heller, he said that if the East and West Germanies did unify, that most of the team, of course, would be East German with respect to both the men and the women. So it would be more difficult for the West Germans to find a spot on that team.
Mary Lou Retton looking on. She'll be giving a clinic a little later on this afternoon. Meanwhile, Kim Kelly, 16-year-old, out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, on the floor.
And this hasn't been Kim's best competition, but she's made vast improvements from last year. Looks very strong and comfortable. This is a good event for her. Lots of style. Very nice, full in double back.
Smart choreography for her because she can have a little fun with it, play to the audience, and it really suits her style, Kathy.
Well, it truly does, and style is as important as those tumbling movements that you see. You can only get, you know, a high score if you can really, really sell that routine and be able to pull it off with the dance training.
How difficult is it to pull it back together again? You mentioned she's had a tough time this afternoon. 8th in the beam, 8th in the bars. How difficult now to get it back together?
Well, this is where international and national experience pay off, and Kelly's pretty good at that. And this is also an event where you really can let go. It's not quite so difficult to hit your routine as it is, for example, on the uneven bars or balance beam.
Let's see if she's going to use that tuck double at the end. Yes.
Little low there. Only a tenth or two. I think the American team is just feeling so high at this point. They were, as we mentioned, beat at the Olympics. They came back at the World Championships to beat the East Germans, but they today they have just been shining.
Let's take a look at this tumbling run now. You can see she has tremendous speed. She's going to do a round off. This is a back handspring. Decent lift. That's a tuck double back. That's the last tumbling run. She's a little short, but she does a really good job at pulling that around and not giving away a major deduction.
Smile.
Well, we mentioned that Wendy Bruce has already clinched the all-around competition. And good score for Kim Kelly, 9.80. Bouncing back from poor performances in the bars and the beam. Now, Elizabeth Crandall of the United States is in second place overall. And earlier, let's take a look at her floor exercise. Good performance.
Once again, she works with Stormy Eaton and has a very positive attitude in the gym, and it translates here on the floor exercise. She began with a full in double back, toughest move in the floor exercise.
Okay, let's go. Keep your legs tight. Up.
You can hear her coach in the background. Obviously, she can't hear that, and neither can the judges. Otherwise, there would have been a deduction, but
Elizabeth suffered a broken leg in 1989, but she really made her comeback last month in Moscow.
Up, go. Up, clean. Good.
Her coach, Stormy Eaton, said she's just like a Mustang. She's aggressive and yet unpredictable. You never know what she's going to do in competition.
I think he alluded to that, too, in the gym at home. Was a very beautiful acro-gymnastic combination.
We're watching Elizabeth Crandall, her floor exercise from a short while ago. Currently in second place.
Fast, baby, let's go. Pull on it, pull on it, pull on it. All right.
And what he's telling her to do, or what he was telling her to do, was really pull that double back around when you are so tired at the end of the routine.
Is she hearing that, Kathy?
All righty.